I hit the wrong button. Teehee. Hi. Hi. Good morning. Imagine going from a starting soon immediately to a BRB, bro. Just be like, hold on, I need a moment. Good morning. Oh my god, dude, I only got like 4 hours of sleep today. Oh, I scarfed down an applesauce right before stream. We'll see if that helps. Maybe the applesauce will fix me. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I was just so productive today. I did so many art sketches for some commission stuff, and I was chatting with people. It was very hard to go to bed because there was so much shit I was doing. Terracotta sleep challenge. I don't know. There's a lot of people who redeemed a tarot reading. I would feel really sad if I had to cancel their tarot readings after they just redeemed them. Hi, Derry. I've been sucked into ZZZ and it's got their teeth deep. Oh my god. You're interested in ZZZ like Zenless Zone Zero or like sleeping? I just imagine you just like snort me over there. Hi there, I've been considering starting streaming this year. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, it's fun. You should do it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. What kind of stuff are you thinking about streaming? Yeah, Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I pulled for lighter. Because of his ass. It was beautiful. Liminal space co-working streams. Ooh, yeah, I do love a good co-working stream. I've been trying to cut back on my Z's personally, not by choice though. Oh, I'd never want to cut back on my sleep, dude. Never. I always feel like I need more. Alright, let's see who all is here. First was taken by Barb. Thank you, Barb, for taking my first today. Makes me very, very happy that you could be my first. Daily Pillows, we've got Barb, Jeremy, Lazy, Brandy, Vertexiality, Leonix, Moon the Raccoon, Nordy, Alex, Jeffy, Sequar. Welcome in. Also, oh my god, thank you for the 60 stream streak. Holy fuck, dude. Let's go. Alright, let's see who all is in the queue now as well. That's crazy. We got 60 stream streak from both Jeremy and Vertexiality. And a 25 stream streak from Barb. Thank you. So yeah, tarot reading queue is Lazy, who wants a love reading. Brandy, who wants a reading for future plans. Moon the Raccoon would like one about how a specific person is feeling about them. And then Nordy wants a general reading. Oh my god, Nordy's getting a reading? Oh my goodness. And then we've got Alex, who wants a relationship reading. And that's the current queue so far. Yo, Dare, are you dealing with a fucked up sleep schedule too? Teehee, mayhaps. Like I said, I was busy today. I was so productive today, dude. I banged out 2 different commissioner sketches. All right, I did the armpit Yuri sketch, and I did another sketch for profile picture commission. I need some wisdom from the cards. Yeah, I got you, Nordy. I got you. Easy. Alright, so yeah, we'll start first with Lazy, who is in fact first this time. Oh my gosh. And Lazy wants a love reading. So we'll break in the cards with Lazy's love reading. Insane productivity. Yeah, I did so good. You guys can tell me how proud you are of me. And then I do have to do a minor tweak to the armpit Yuri sketch. I drew her in the wrong shirt, so I just gotta adjust the shirt in the sketch, and then I'll post the sketch on the 18 plus art channel since Daedra gave permission. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take some head pats if you got any. If there's any on offer, I'll take some head pats. Yeah. Yippee. I do love my head pats. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I will sippy sip my water once I pull your cards. Alright, let's see what we got for your love reading. Oh. This is an interesting reading. Did you like break up with somebody recently? This is a very interesting reading. I will say it's not a bad reading. It's not a bad reading. I never went on a date. That's interesting because this reading reads like you've already broken up and you're starting to look for somebody new. But let me go ahead and put these up on the screen for you. I think you'll see what I mean. Let's see, first up we've got boop, and then boop. Good morning, good morning. I have my blankie wrapped around me. I'm still half in bed mode. Okay. So, we got all of your cards, Lazy, for your love reading. In order of left to right, we have Judgment, we have the Four of Swords, and we have Death, all right? So hi, Jacob. So starting with the Judgment card, right? A Judgment card is a card of like the dawn of a new day. It's new possibilities. It's change that's just over the horizon. It's the end of, you know, the bad in order to have the start of the possibility of good, right? It's very much like you're getting over it. You're finally freeing yourself from something. You've made it through to the end. It's the end of winter. It's the start of spring. My favorite tarot reader. I didn't buy options because he told me to, and I didn't lose the last $70 on my bank account. Hi, Kyle. Good to see you again. Welcome back. I'm glad to hear that your finances did not go into the negatives. My favorite thing to hear. Welcome in. But yeah, so we got the good night, Barb. So we've got that right off the bat with the end of the one thing and the start of something new. And that feels very much continued throughout the rest of the reading as well. Now I'm thinking of crypto. It seems all the rage. I don't need tarot cards to tell you this. Don't do crypto. Don't do crypto. Unless you are doing insider trading, it is not worth it to get into crypto. And if you're doing insider trading, that's a crime. So almost every single coin right now is like way into, like, it's all like rug pull bullshit at this point. And then the actual, like, quote unquote stable coins are all like past their peak of when you should have joined, quote unquote, in order to actually get in on the riches. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to get into crypto. Don't get into crypto. I don't need the tarot cards to tell you that shit. Fuck crypto. Proper Debbie Downer you are. I'm not a Debbie Downer, dude. I'm realistic as fuck. I mean, if you get into insider trading, you know, if you know people who are about to make a big coin and they're about to pop off, and you are able to buy the coin before it goes on the market, to like literally before the coin even goes public, then yeah, sure, get into crypto. But unless you're meeting all of those circumstances, bro, don't even bother with crypto. And by the way, if you are doing all of that, like I said, that is insider trading. That is a rug pull scheme. That is not legal. You shouldn't do that. Anyway. Right. So we were talking about the reading. So we had, you know, Dawn of a New Day. We've got the Four of Swords, which is a card again of like the end of a battle, and now is the time for rest and healing, right? So you've made it through the difficult part, and now this is the time to heal and begin anew. And then that leads into the Death card, which is a card about the start of something new, you know, letting go of one thing in order to start something new as well. So again, like all three of these cards are very much like reiterating the same thing. Like I said, this is normally like a breakup into like a new relationship type of reading, but you said you haven't been in a relationship. So I think for me, this could also be interpreted as like, this is a chance for like rebirth in a sense. This is a chance to let go of the past, let go of old pain, let go of old hurts, and to transform yourself into the best version of you, especially when it comes to things like love, right? There's no need to hold on to who you were before, because there is nothing, I would say, that is necessary to hold on to, you know? So I think if there are things about yourself in terms of love that you don't like, the cards are kind of saying like, well, now's your chance. Like, change them, get rid of them. This is the chance for you to start like from the beginning, to start from scratch, to build the ideal version of yourself when it comes to love, you know? Honestly, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Yeah, but like, you see why I was like initially like this, like low-key reads like a breakup into a new relationship reading. Now, you would maybe think that this is about like other people, but this could be about just straight up yourself internally, breaking up with that previous version of yourself in order to create the version of you you want to be, right? I mean, there's nothing tying you down right now. It's not like you're in a relationship. So maybe it's time for you to break up with your old self, you know, and to become the ideal partner that you want to imagine yourself as. It's not like you're going to shift in a relationship, you know, so go for it. I think you should become a type of person that you can be proud of when you look in the mirror, you know, that you can at least say, I've done everything I can to become the best I could be. That starts in little ways, but it's something that you can control at the end of the day of how you want to do things for yourself. So maybe start there, you know, what things do you want to be able to do as a person and also as a partner for somebody else, you know? And this is the chance to start fresh. It's like the spring cleaning of your love life. There you go. I hope that helps, Lazy. Fingers crossed. If I had such a connection, I wouldn't be in Twitch looking for a tarot reader. True. Well, you never know. You never know what connections some random people might have. For all I know, you could be like the fucking Saudi Arabian prince or some shit. The guy who's buying up all of the esports things. Who's to say? Thank you, Derry. That did help a lot. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, Lazy. I'm glad to hear it. Next up is Brandy. And Brandy wants a reading for my future plans of streaming. Let's do it. You are still here, right, Brandy? Boop, boop. Me, yeah. Hi, Brandy. Yes, I am that. Did you know that my fortune is mixed in a legal battle and I need some money to release the funds? And in return, I will give you $10 billion once I get my fortune. Oh my god, really? Really? You promise? I only have to give you like $100 in order to help you, and then you'll give me $10 billion? Oh my god, that's such a steal. Oh my gosh. Only 500? Oh, I can't afford that. Not unless you accept iTunes gift cards. Do you accept that by chance? Hi, Jasmine. Welcome in. Let's see what we got for Brandy's reading. And then Brandy is subbed, so you'll also get an oracle card with your reading. Sure, I accept all payments that cannot be legally tracked. Good to know. Good to know, good to know. I'll keep that in mind then. Let me just scratch off the backs of all these iTunes gift cards so I can read out the codes to you. Hi, Twilight Princess. Welcome in. Wait, and let's grab your oracle card. Okay. Got all of the cards for you, so let's go ahead and put them up on the screen, Brandy. Starting with... And then... There we go. And then the last card is... Oh boy, oh boy. There we go. Alrighty, we got all of the cards for you, Brandy, for your reading about streaming stuff, you know. In order of left to right, we have the reverse page of coins, we have the 10 of wands, and we have the reverse 7 of wands. And then for your oracle card, we have oak tree. Oak tree. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the reverse page of wands, right? What's a hi, Ren? The reverse page of wands is somebody who is kind of in their own world. Very much like doesn't really want to come to truth with certain facts. It feels almost like somebody who kind of won't listen to reason. It feels very much like they have an ideal version of what they're imagining will happen, but I'm not sure that that's really fully grounded in reality with how things will happen. This could be like maybe you're overhyping like a project in your mind, or maybe you're visualizing something that is not at all guaranteed or has an incredibly slim chance of happening, and kind of banking on that being what happens in a sense, in order to move forward with certain things. It could be a variety of things. My delusions are winning. In a sense, yeah. You're getting a little too delulu with it. It's like, okay, let's try to ground things in reality, just a little bit. Let's ground things in reality, just a smidge, you know. And that sort of leads us into the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is a card of, this is a trial of the heart. This is you kind of coming to terms with reality. It's going to be difficult because you're kind of going to get like slapped in the face a little bit. The cold water might get poured over you, and it's sort of where it determines whether or not you keep going or how you keep doing it, you know? So ultimately, when those fantasies or the delulus don't, you know, come to fruition, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to feel like that's kind of what's been motivating you so far, is hoping that that will kick in already and help. And so the cards are like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. This is something you're going to have to like actually grapple with, is the fact that, I mean, there was no guarantee that was going to happen in the first place. So you shouldn't be banking on that, you know? And then that kind of leads us into the Seven of Wands reversed, which is a card of kind of the inability to recognize what your actual like value and worth is, and where that is held could potentially lead to your downfall. So it's like very much important for you to actually recognize, what are you genuinely bringing to the table? What are your strengths? What are the things that you can genuinely do and bring, and that are unique to you, right? I think when you really stop and think about what you have to offer and what it is that you specifically and only you can do to bring something new and something fresh, I think that's what's going to help you the most in actually breaking through and leading to an actual results, you know? Which kind of leads us as well to your oracle card, which I said is Oak Tree, which is a card of power, courage, and strength, right? Which is very much, you know, building up your strength over time. An oak tree isn't grown overnight. I mean, it starts from an acorn, but then you have to plant the acorn, and then, you know, it takes years and years for it to actually properly grow. So I think the key thing here is kind of slow and steady wins the race. Don't expect anything to just kind of go according to delusions, but really stop and think about what it is that you can do, what it is you have to offer, what it is that you can make happen, and sort of realign yourself and your goals with like the parameters of reality. And I think you'll find that you'll make much more progress in actually growing in the direction that you want to when you do. I hope that helps. But it feels very much like the cards are like, okay, you gotta stop and think. You gotta really stop and think about, what is it that only you can do? What is it that you're bringing to the table? And I think when you do that, it'll make it a lot easier for you to like align your goals. Yeah, there you go. next up is Moon the raccoon. Are you here, Moon? Also, hi, Kazi. Welcome in. Hi, yeah, hi, Moon. Let's see. And Moon the raccoon said, I would like to know how this person is feeling about me currently. Yeah. Let's see what we got for you. How's it going? I'm pretty eepy. I'm a little eepy guy right now, but we're still doing good. Let's see what we got. Okay. Let's put these up on the screen for you, Moon. Starting with... And then we've got... There we go. And then the last card is... There we go. Alrighty. So, in order of left to right, Moon, for your reading about you and this person, we have the Hanged Man, we have the Star, and we have the reverse Knight of Swords. So we'll go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man's normally a card of like self-introspection, like kind of taking a moment to stop and think about like what you should do to cut yourself free of things. So it's really interesting that we're getting this card here right from the start, because it's very much, we have two cards of contemplation essentially, and then one card of like an actual person, right? Because the Knight of Swords is a person, so it's usually like a person or personality trait. But I think it's very interesting that you have two cards about sort of like internal contemplation, like looking within yourself, right? Hi, Shorts, welcome in. So like I said, we have that Hangman. That Hangman is a card of like what's holding you back, what's tying you down, and what can you do to cut yourself free from it. And then again, sort of reiterated by the Star card, which is a card of transcendence. It's a card of spiritual growth. It's a card of intuition. It's very much like a card of blooming into a better version of yourself after hard times, right? Becoming a better version of you. But then we follow it up with the reverse Knight of Swords. And the reverse Knight of Swords is somebody who's very ambitious, to the point where they might use other people as stepping stones to get to their destination, right? So somebody who is willing to bite for the sake of their victory. You can kind of see here with the Venus flytraps, right? Someone who isn't afraid to use people and exploit their weaknesses for their own ends. So I think it's very interesting to have this kind of thing here, because it feels very much like, I'm not quite sure, but it does feel like the cards are kind of saying like, I think you're doing like a lot of self introspection, trying to look deep into yourself about what's best for you. But it is interesting that with those two cards about like self introspection, self improvement, self growth, you have this card that pops up with the reverse Knight of Swords, which feels like, I think it depends on which one of you associate that card with in this reading, right? Do you associate it with yourself, the reverse Knight of Swords? Do you worry that you use people? You know, maybe you feel like whenever you ask somebody for help, do you feel like you're just using them and you're kind of like beating yourself up about it? Or do you maybe feel like they're maybe not fully appreciating what you have to offer to you and they're taking advantage of you, right? I think the key here determines what this rating means to you is who you kind of assign this card to, right? Is it to yourself or is it to the person in question as to how they feel about you? Because it can kind of tweak the meaning of the reading depending on who you feel, like gut instinct, who you feel that card sort of applies to. Like I said, like you could feel like maybe that Knight of Swords is you, like you feel like whenever you ask for help, you're taking advantage of people. Or it could be that you feel like they're, not respecting you and your time and they only see you as a means to an end. And I think that's sort of like the key thing here is with this sort of self-introspection, understanding who you feel this card applies to, I think also helps dictate how you go forward in that relationship. Because maybe you do feel like you're the reverse Knight of Swords, right? And I'm just going to run through both meanings, kind of. But if you feel like you're the Knight of Swords, then, maybe you have a hard time reaching out to people. Maybe you have a hard time building those connections of asking people for help and having those bonds that you get with people and that you get with developing relationships by asking for help. There's certain milestones in friendships and relationships that really only come when you allow other people to help you and to assist you, and so you could feel maybe guilty because maybe, you've been asking for help more often lately or whatever the case might be. And so maybe you're like getting in your own head and you're overthinking it and you're wondering if you're doing too much, that's sort of one way to interpret it. I am quite shy and they're a newer person in my life. Yeah, I would say then maybe I think you're probably afraid of like fully reaching out and like relying on them. You're scared to like put your weight on the table in a sense, which I get. But I think it is very important to realize that asking for help and allowing other people to help you is an important part of the relationship process of getting to know people, That's how you bond. Also, Shadow, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. But I think that is like sort of the key thing, because you got to think about it from your perspective too. If somebody that you want to get close to asks you for help in something, it makes it a lot easier for you to connect with them because they're being vulnerable with you in a sense, Also, hi, Pupper. Welcome in. And thank you, Pupper and Shorts, for grabbing your daily pillows. But yeah, I think it is necessary sometimes to be vulnerable and to ask for help because that is how you build that connection. That's how you build that relationship with other people, by showing that you trust them, that you rely on them, That's like one of the building blocks, the foundations of relationships with others, any type of relationship, familial, a friendship, romantic, all of those require you to trust the other people, to go to them when you need help, right? And if your family comes up to you like, hey, I need help, like I'm having difficulty with this, your first thought is usually, okay, well, how can I help? Same with your friends. Same with your friends. If your friend's going through a hard time, you want to be there for them. Okay, well, how can I help? What can I do to help you? You know? And then romantic. Okay, well, anything I can do to ease your burden, you know? Yeah, I'm not the best at being the first to reach out, even when I want to. I try to solve most of my problems myself. I think what you can do is give them little problems, things that are very, very low stakes, that are very easy, to sort of break the ice, break the tension. You know, like, oh, hey, man, I've been trying to find this one thing and I just can't find it anywhere. You know, do you think you can help me find like a link to this? I'm going crazy. You know, and you know, small, very, very low stakes, not too much energy on their part, but it gives them a chance to feel helpful, for them to feel useful, and for them to feel like they're, you know, somebody that you trust enough to ask for help, you know? So like I said, you can build that sort of trust, build that sort of rapport with somebody by offering them small things that they can do. And then in return, they offer you small things that you can do. And then you gradually move up to bigger and bigger things. And that's just how it works, you know? Steak sounds so good. Dude, I would love some steak right now. Holy fuck. That sounds delicious. But yeah, I think the key thing here is sort of giving that opportunity. That is really how you build relationships, is by giving people the chance to prove their capabilities and to prove that your trust in them was worthwhile, you know? You have to show at least a little bit of vulnerability. You can even manufacture a little bit of vulnerability if needed, but that's a good way to bridge the gap, you know? Like, let's say, for example, they're really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And you don't know shit about Yu-Gi-Oh! So you message them and you go, hey man, I was thinking about getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! But like, I don't even know where to start. Like, what would you recommend, you know? And I'd be like, oh, well, glasses up, you've come to the right person. Here you go. Here's a list of links of all the things you should do in order to get into this. And you're like, oh, dude, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And that's a bonding moment. That's you in a sense of vulnerability, letting down your guard and asking for help, and then them feeling like they're worth it, you know? Joey's starter deck, Luna's light boosters. Yeah, I don't know enough about Yu-Gi-Oh! I only use my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards for tarot readings. I use my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards exclusively for tarot readings, so I don't know anything about all that. But it is very much like this is your chance to be vulnerable and to let them see that you're open to them being a part of your life, you know? So little baby steps. And it's not asking too much of them. It's not using them, you know? I think that's kind of like the internal thoughts that we tell ourselves. It's like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm using them. They're going to think I'm bothering them because I don't value them. And it's like, no, you're bothering them because you value them. You value their input. You value what they have to say, what suggestions they have to make. That's why you ask them, you know? But yeah, I hope that helps. Fingers crossed. I hope that helps, Moon. It did? Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Alrighty, next up is Nordy. Oh my gosh, Nordy, are you here? You think you got sucker punched by a ghost? Oh my God. I'm here. Hi, Nordy. And Nordy wants a general reading. So let's see what we got for you. And then you also get an oracle card with your reading. Yummy. So let's see what we got for you. I didn't punch anyone. Yeah, Ghost Pupper's a good pupper. You would never punch anybody. I believe in you. Oh my god, another Shimadere summoned. My army grows. Very beautiful, very powerful. Yeah, Pupper the best doggo. For sure, for sure. Let's see what we got for you, Nordy. Okay. And then let's grab your Oracle card. Uncle Jimmy's basement. Those shuffles are fantastic. I'm glad you like the shuffle ASMR. It sounds like something interesting. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. I gotta pull your Oracle card first, though. And then I'll put them up on the screen for you. Okay. Alrighty. Let's put these up on the screen for you, Nordy. Starting with the Tower. Oh my god, Nordy, you pulled the Tower. First card. Is that not insane? And then we follow that up with yeah. That's why I immediately just went, ah. Ah, I see. And then we followed up with the last card, which is... boop. There we go. Alrighty. So, Nordy, for your general reading, in order of left to right, we have the Tower. We have the reverse Ace of Cups, and we have the reverse Temperance card. And then for your Oracle card, we have Autumn, like the season. So we'll go ahead and start with the Tower, which is a card of feeling like things are kind of crashing down around you. It's very much a feeling of like a catastrophe, a broken cycle, a humbling experience or event, if you will. It's very much, things kind of feel like they're crumbling or falling apart. This is a card of destruction, but not all destruction is necessarily bad. Because, I mean, if you think about it in the sense of like building a house, you have to destroy what was already there in the first place in order to build something better on top of it, right? If you want to build a better house, you have to destroy even the original foundation. You know, so not all destruction is bad, and some destruction is necessary for the sake of better things in the future. So that is something to keep in mind. But that does lead us to your second card, which is the reverse Ace of Cups. And the reverse Ace of Cups is a card of like hesitation, especially like this is a card of like your emotions, right? This is your emotions. This is your love. This is the heart that you hold deep inside of yourself. And it feels very much like you're afraid to show that to people. Also, Nala, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. But it feels very much like you're afraid to pursue something when it comes to love. And it doesn't have to be romantic love. It can be love for, you know, anybody or anything. But it feels like you are afraid to make that jump, to actually make that move and to push things forward, right? There's this sense of like, maybe you feel like you're not allowed, or maybe you feel like you're not deserving, or maybe you feel like it just won't work out anyway, so why even bother, you know? Whatever the case might be, it does feel like you are very much purposely bottling up and holding your emotions back. It kind of feels like you just shoved the emotions inside of your heart into which we'll pretend your emotions are a very cute little Mentos, right? And then you've just shoved that into a bottle of Coke. And then you try to screw the lid on and act like everything's normal, right? That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like you have these sort of emotions that are bubbling inside of you, but you kind of feel like you don't want to confront them quite yet. So you're like, let me just bottle it all up and pretend like nothing is happening and everything is fine and I'm totally okay. But you just put a Mentos in a Coke bottle. Like, you're just building up pressure. You're just building up pressure. Also, hi, Ray. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. But yeah, so right off the bat with that as well, we have this sense of like destruction. We have the sense of things feeling like they're kind of falling apart, very much like catastrophe, humbling experience. And then with that, you're also bottling up your emotions, preventing yourself from coming to terms with how you really feel about all of this is going down. And that is leading to your next card, which is the reverse temperance card. Which, while temperance is normally a card about like go with the flow, let things happen as they happen, purification, self-control, and balance, in its reverse, it is a card of like corruption. It's a card of like stagnation. It is a card of like the waters are getting muddied. It feels like things are not going well. This is not a good time. I think that sort of suppression of everything, that, like I said, that Mentos and Coke bottle of your emotions right now is building up pressure to the point where it's starting to maybe fizzle out in other things in your life, and it's starting to bother you a bit, right? Your balance has shifted, and I think all you can do is unscrew the bottle at this point. It is going to be messy. It is going to be a hot mess. It's going to be a hot mess. It's going to be a hot mess. It's going to be sticky. It's going to be messy. It's going to be foamy. You're going to have to mop it up later. But it is better to go ahead and unscrew the cap of the bottle now than to just wait for it to fully explode. You know? Like, you could continue to let it sit there because, well, you know, it hasn't leaked or anything yet. It's fine. It's just a couple little drops. It's like that bitch is gonna pop. It's gonna explode everywhere, and it's gonna be even worse unless you deal with it now. Like, it's gonna be messy now. It's already too late for you. You already suppressed so much. I think it's necessary for you to just kind of rip the Band-Aid off. But you do have to actually rip the Band-Aid off. You know, I think that's the only way for you to actually restore that sort of sense of balance in yourself, and then sort of even everything else out in your life that it's kind of affecting, you know. It can be scary, I think, whenever you have bottled up those kind of feelings and emotions for so long. It can be really difficult to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna confront my emotions. Yeah, it's better to pop up now and assume the messiness as a mature person instead of to pop up like a volcano eruption. Yeah, exactly. This is something that you are gonna have to deal with sooner or later, and this is very much like you might as well just deal with it sooner. You might as well deal with it, I think, now when you have the chance to, and you're like at least somewhat in semblance of control, you know, versus it just exploding at any time when you have no control over the situation, you know. This is something that you can control. You can control to unscrew the cap on the bottle before it explodes. So it's better for you to unscrew it now and have it get messy and you just clean it up, you know, because you've prepared for it. You put down the plastic tarps, you got the mop in the bucket, versus not doing anything now and it just exploding unprompted later without you having all of the necessary supplies to clean it up, right? And that kind of brings us to your Oracle card, which is, like I said, it's Autumn. It's a card of bounty, but it's also a card of balance, right? This is also a card of, you can think of it in a sense of like harvesting the fruits of your efforts, you know? I think you've grown enough, you've matured enough as a person that you're able to fully confront what you've kind of been shoving deep down into like the recesses of your mind, you know? So it feels like the cards are saying like, now's the time. Now is the time before it hits winter, you need to take care of this. You need to, while you have all of these things around you, while you have all of the people around you who can help you, it's better to deal with it now before it's too late, you know? So go ahead and find a way to restore your balance. Because it feels like you are like kind of in a good place right now to deal with this. You know, it feels like maybe you've got like the right support network. It feels like you've got, you know, family and people who love and care for you. So out of all times, it's kind of better to be like, okay, gang, you all got your goggles, you all got your mops. All right, because I'm about to unscrew the cap. And you got all your friends and family like nodding with the mops in hand, ready to help you tackle the mess, you know? So, I hope that helps, Nordy. I hope that helps. It feels like this is something that definitely needs to be addressed, but when you do, it'll help, I think, restore balance in a bunch of aspects in your life when you do that. It seems that it's a good advice for what's happening right now. Already seek a few help with the family. Yeah. I mean, because it doesn't say anything about you having to deal with the mess alone, right? So I think that's very much the key thing is like the cards aren't saying you have to deal with this alone. They're just saying you have to deal with this, but you don't have to deal with it alone. So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get your friends and family to gather around for support as you clean this up and as you work through this, you know? And I think that'll help you in a lot of ways. Also, oh my gosh, right? Thank you for the kissy redeem. Thank you. Also, Blue Eagle Fly, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Maybe probably should visit a psychology help for more oriented support. Yeah, I think for sure. You know, go to the professionals when needed as well. For like working through a lot of this, especially if it's like emotional, having a professional sort of help guide you through and walk you through like all the steps of like unpacking everything, and like working through it all, putting all of the things away, and then moving forward can be really, really helpful. But yeah, White Kitty sends kissies also. Oh my god, Kitty! Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I hope that helps, Nordy. And if you ever need to chat, you know, Nordy, my DMs are always open if you ever need to just yap. I'll be a little rubber ducky for you. I'll be Ducky Dere for you. And you can talk to me. But yeah, we're all here for you, Nordy. We love you. So take good care of yourself. Yeah, I got my little Ducky Dere mode. Yeah, I hope that helps, Nordy. Let's see. Well, thanks for grabbing your daily pillow, Ray. Appreciate it. Also, I need honored my tower. I'm ready. Yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta time you out for 10 seconds. There we go. As is required for those who pull the tower, I have to time you out for 10 seconds to clear the air, clear the energy. We got it. Thank you for the gift subs, Nordy. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you. I appreciate you lots and lots. The tower is like that, yeah. I already said we paving the steps of the tower in gold, baby. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, next up is All the love to my favorite dairy. Oh my god, you know other dairies? There are other dairies to compare me to. Next up is Alex. Alex, are you here? Alex wants a relationship reading. It could be, there could only be one of something and it'd still be my fave, and that's you. Oh my god. I'm the fave by default. By pure default, I've secured victory. Indeed, I won by doing nothing. Alright. Is Alex here? Let me at Alex. Dairy Prime, yeah. Let me drink my water. Alex might be AFK. Alex might be AFK. Let's see, who's the next up on the list? Next up is... How do you play Mojang? Oh. Oh. With your heart? Okay. After Alex, it's Twilight Princess. So, Twilight Princess, are you here? Are you here, Twilight Princess? Bum, 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 bum. I know we are still technically an ad break. We'll wait the extra like 30 seconds for the ads to finish, and then we'll call both of them again before we move on to the next person. Just in case. Just in case they're listening but not reading chat. Okay, ad break is finishing now. Ad break is finishing now. Thank you guys for sticking around through the ads. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. All right, so Alex, are you here? And Twilight Princess, are you here? We gotta do somebody's reading. Otherwise, we're skipping y'all and going to the next person. So, Alex, are you here? Twilight Princess, are you here? Please speak now. Please. Give me a sign of life. Yeah, they fell asleep. They got too cozy with it. My powers are too strong. Okay. Yeah, I think they might just be AFK. So we'll come back to them for the final call then. Oh my god. Thank you for the redeem shorts. There you go. Next up in the queue is Shadow Gamer. Shadow Gamer, are you here? Hi. What would you like for your tarot reading? Because the little blurb you put in isn't really a reading request, so. What would you like for the reading? Oh, like a general career reading? Okay. Okay. General career reading it is. Oh my god. Hi, Jeremy. Yeah, we'll play that. We'll play that after we do this reading. Okay? So let's do this reading first and then we'll play the song. But thank you for the reading. Let's see what we got for you. Hi, Mita. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Interesting. Having a good night? Yeah, I'm so wrapped in my blanket. I'll probably go right back to sleep after stream, not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and put these cards up on the screen for you. Shadow Gamer for your career reading. Starting with... And then the final card is... Alrighty. My body feels like shambles, so I will go lie down and watch this on my phone. Yeah, get snuggly in bed. The mobile viewing experience. I'm basically dark mode, so... Alrighty, in order of left to right, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Reverse Sun card. So we start with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is somebody who works quickly. Somebody's quick on their feet, very sharp tongue. They don't really hold back their words, but they also want to be honest. They want to be truthful. They're one of those like brutally honest types, very much. Very swift, very quick, ready to leap at a moment's notice sort of feeling. Feels like you're always poised, ready for battle in a sense when it comes to your career, right? You're ready for shit to hit the fan and you don't hold back about how you really feel about things. Probably doesn't feel like a customer service job, I'm gonna be real. But it is very much like the feeling of like kind of on edge a little bit. This feeling of ready to snap whenever an opportunity presents itself. Which is interesting because that does lead us into the Ten of Swords, which is a card of pain. It is a card of misfortune, despair, misery, anguish, defeat, loss. This is the shit sucks card, right? This is the it's not a fun time right now card. And that could be for a variety of reasons, but it definitely feels like probably a really difficult time at the moment. Maybe you feel like just things are just extra grinding you down, you know, the hustle is extra just grinding down on your sanity, grinding down, wearing you down a bit, whatever the case might be. But this is the shit sucks card. Could be just like shitty coworker, could be, you know, bad boss, could be anything, but this is not a good time. You are not having fun, and you are not thinking you are having fun or that you will have fun right now, right? This is pain. Could be, you know, lost promotion, could be no raise or a shit raise, or it could be a demotion, whatever the case is. This fucking sucks, bro, right? But I feel like the reason why is because of this reverse sun card, right? And while the sun is normally like happiness and light and warmth, you know, if you turn up all of those qualities up to like 100, it becomes somebody who's very aggressive, very brazen, very much like lacks compassion, very much like this sense of like, you know, like you go out to the sun, you get a suntan, right? But if you stay out in the sun long enough, it becomes a sunburn, right? It feels like we are teetering towards sunburn, you know, getting a little too aggressive, getting a little too hot and heavy with it, but not in the sexy way. It feels like maybe this is kind of what's affecting you right now. Sometimes you do have to, I think, do your best to mend bridges with other people, or at least be like cordial with them, I would say. To me, this reads a bit like maybe your sharpness, maybe your desire to just be straightforward and truthful and not hold things back is kind of what's holding you back a bit. Sometimes you kind of got to play the social game, especially when it comes to things like careers and jobs and stuff like that, because you are, unfortunately, not working alone. You are working with other people, and that does require at least some degree of like tact and like consideration for others, as much as you may just want to, you know, hunker down and focus on just doing a good job on your work. There is, I think, a necessary social aspect that maybe you've been neglecting, and that might be affecting you right now. It's kind of what it feels like. So my suggestion would be, you got to start playing the social game, at least a little bit. You know, I'm not saying you have to like overnight suddenly pretend to be, you know, a super sweet, cheery, like sugary sweet person or anything, because that would be freaky if you were never like that before and then the next day you suddenly decide to start acting like that. I would be freaked the hell out. I would think you were swapped with a doppelganger, right? And then nobody would want to trust you. But like, I think just doing small stuff, small little interactions when necessary to try to make the experience more pleasant for the people around you. You know, you don't maybe have to say everything that's on your mind, or try to at least rephrase it in like some LinkedIn speak, you know? Which, have you guys seen that LinkedIn speak translator? It's so fucking dumb. But I think it is like a little bit of like, hey, let's just try to be just a little less abrasive. Not saying you gotta completely sand off all of your edges, but like, let's at least hit the absolute bare corners, you know, just to round it off a tiny bit. You still keep your general shape. It's still distinctly you, but we'll send off a little bit of the edge to make it a smoother experience for everybody, you know? It's wild that you said aggression. I was at work the other day and I got attacked physically by a literal ghost. That's crazy, dude. You and the ghost should have fucked instead. You could become enemies to lovers. Oh my gosh. But I think the key thing here is just kind of like, just soften things up a little bit. Like I said, it would be weird and it would probably be more off-putting if you were to suddenly like completely 180 and just have like a totally different, like ultra sweet, cheery personality or whatever. But I think you can do small things, little things to soften your image, you know? You want the tough guy with the heart of gold kind of vibe, where it's like they look tough and scary, but then you see them in the back alley feeding a cat. You want that kind of image, you know? It's like, but you got to show the you're in the back alley feeding the cat kind of vibes. Otherwise, they're just gonna think you're a scary tough guy the whole time. They're not gonna want to approach. Choose love, not war. Real and true. But yeah, you need something to soften you, I think, a little bit to the other people, and I think that will do wonders for you. You know? But yeah, I hope that helps, Shadow Gamer. Fingers crossed. And maybe you can make that ghost fall in love with you, and then you'll be making out with the ghost later. Next shift, you're just in the back rooms with the ghost one-on-one. Some alone time. I believe in you. Fuck that ghost. Hard pass? Nah. You don't know that yet. You gotta get to know the ghost. You know, like I said, this is an enemies to lovers speedrun. Alright, next up is Ray. You're still here, right, Ray? Oh yeah, we gotta play the cover song. That's right. Good thing I remembered that. So let's see here. Let's pause the music. Hi, Exist. Okay, we gotta play the cover song first because Jeremy redeemed the cover song. But after the cover song, then we will do your tarot reading next, right? Okay, so pause my music. Turn on my internet and my internet audio. All right, and then let's play the cover song. Let's play Ruler of My Heart as requested by Jeremy. Yippee. All right, back to regularly scheduled lo-fi. Thank you for the redeem, Jeremy, for playing Ruler of My Heart. If you guys aren't following me on YouTube, you totally should. Teehee. I post all my song covers and my ASMR role plays over there if you guys like to hear me sing or if you like to hear me whisper. There you go. But yeah, I'm glad to hear your stream was very productive and very cozy. Diz, thank you again for the raid. I hope y'all are all doing well. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so next up we are doing the reading for Ray, and Ray wants a money/employment reading. So let's see what we got for you. Both is good. There's the singing and the whispering. Yeah, it was. The art's coming along well. Yeah, I was on an art grind this morning. I was banging out some sketches for some commissions earlier, so I definitely get that. Today's definitely been an absolute productivity session. Next is gonna be a screamo artist, gotta cover every range. Actually, I already have the next cover song recorded, but I want to use it in a specific project, so I haven't been able to actually show it to you guys. But I do actually already have a cover song, my next cover song, finished. It's just I want to use it for something, so I can't show you yet. But it is done. It's not screamo. Sorry if that disappoints. It's not screamo. But screamo takes like a very specific style of vocal technique. Like you have to know how to scream properly, otherwise you like completely damage your vocal cords. But it would be cool. I would actually love to know and like practice properly like doing screamo. I think it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. Because I mean, I used to listen to a lot of like heavy metal and screamo back in like high school. I was just thinking of that one screamo girl with the parrot who also tunes in. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I used to listen to a ton of like metal and screamo back in like high school. I listen to that and then I immediately go back to Vocaloid afterwards. My taste was kind of all over the place. Even now, it's still kind of all over the place. But I listen to like specific genres more. But every now and then I get a hankering for something. Look up Screamo Metal Bird or I'll post in your Discord. Post in the Discord, silly. Do it. We got a music channel in the Discord. We have a music channel and we have a memes channel. So let's see what we got for you, Ray, for your reading. They are all upside down, so we're just gonna flip them all right side up and read them all right side up. There you go. Because for all I know, I was just holding my deck upside down. Teehee. All right, let's put these cards up on the screen for you, Ray. Starting with... Yeah, I'll check it out after stream for sure. Let's see. Next one we've got is doop. And then the last one is boop. There we go. This deck is super pretty. Yeah, I love this deck. I love this deck so much. This is the Botanica Tarot deck. They also semi-recently-ish came out with a version that includes an Oracle deck, but they don't sell the Oracle deck separately, so I don't have the Oracle deck for it because I bought the deck before they came out with that. But if you would like to buy a copy of this deck yourself, if you do !tarot, it'll give you the link to the deck if you want to support the original artist who created all of these beautiful, beautiful tarot cards. Yeah, like I said, it's the Botanica Tarot deck. I really love it so much. Also, hi, Nuclea, welcome in. Alrighty, so we got all the cards for you, Ray, for your employment/money reading. In order of left to right, we have the 7 of Coins, we have the Page of Swords, and we have the Moon. I don't need more cards right now, but also want. True. Sometimes it's just nice just to stare at them. But we start with the 7 of Coins. And the 7 of Coins is a card of forward motion. It is a card of change that leads to growth. It is a card of, it is going to take hard work. It is going to be, a lot of effort. But that effort will give you the momentum to push you forward, So it's not like it's a waste of effort. It's not like it's a waste of time. This is a card telling you, like, it's worth the investment. It's worth putting your time and energy into this to push yourself forward. You just need that extra push, and then it'll be smooth sailing from there. But you do gotta push, It's worth it in the end. So keep pushing forward, right? And then following that up with the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is somebody who's very much a charmer, very charismatic, a diplomat, somebody who's good with people. And I think that's kind of your strong point. I feel like you've got a strong sense of being able to connect with others in a social sense as well. And I think you should use that to help you, It's okay to use your connections in order to help give yourself better opportunities, I mean, if you got the opportunity to use your nepotism, I think you should use your nepotism where you can. Pull a couple strings, see where it takes you. It is okay to use your resources that you have. As long as you aren't completely leaving the other person in the fucking shitter. If you're just asking for the other people for like a little bit of help, but you plan to fully utilize it to the best of your ability and to use your full strength, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Having, family or friends help you get a job is fine in my book, as long as you do your best at that job, as long as you actually work hard at that job. So if that's your intentions, I mean, fucking go for it. If you got nepotism connections, fucking use them, baby. Be a nepo baby, but a humble nepo baby. Yeah, like I said, I never really minded if people manage to get jobs through connections, as long as they do their best to follow through with it, I gave myself a reading the other day and it said I need to lean on my community more, so this tracks. Yeah, it's like you've got connections, use them. You're a people person, use that ability. That is an ability you can use, is the fact that you are a people person. And then following that up as well, we have the Moon, right? And the Moon is a card of intuition. It's a card of dreams, but it's also a card of changing tides, I have to work for my dad sometimes. Does that make me a quasi nepo baby? Sometimes nepo baby, yeah. An off and on nepo baby, if you will. Nepo baby situationship type shit. I just gotta advertise commissions on my friends' streams, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this is very much like this is the chance for you to change the tide of things. This is the chance for you to change the outcome, to change, what you're going for. So do it, rely on your community, rely on the people around you to help you through the difficult spot, but then, follow through by working hard to uphold the trust and the graciousness that they're giving you, Nepo baby, your name ex-CEO. That's gotta be a thing. I love it. I love it. I'm sure that it's already existed, but I need it. I need it on my desk by 5, please. But yeah, I mean, I hope that helps, right? It definitely feels like the cards are kind of like, you just got to give yourself that one final push and rely on the people around you to get where you need to go with all of this, you know? And I think that'll help put you in the direction that you're looking to head in. So there you go. I hope that helps, right? Fingers crossed. Then next up is Cryptum. And Cryptum, are you here, Cryptum? Yeah, I'm rooting for you, Ray. Hi, Cryptum, and Cryptum wants a general reading. So let's see what we got for you. I'm just an eepy little guy right now. I'm just a little eeper. Yeah, EBDB. Yeah. I pressed the elevator button. I headed down to EBDB after this. I'll get all snuggly in my blankies. It's gonna be so nice. And I'll fall asleep for like another 4 hours. Yeah, I'm what they call the king of cozy. I know how to get snuggly at the drop of a hat. All right, let's see what we got for you, Cryptum. Yeah, I'm cozy maxing. My melatonin levels are rising. Alright, we got all the cards for you. Also, hi, Astra. Welcome in. How are you? I'm gonna make an OCs and I want to share them because if I don't, I'll go insane. Oh my god, you're gonna go insane? Like sicko mode? Kablooey? Ghost is being a cozy kitty, so it's working on him too. Yeah, Kivy. I love when people send me pictures of their cats, dude. I love that shit. Alright, first card is... Boop. And then the next card is... Boop. And then the final card is... There we go. Oh my god, Jeffy, you got a sub from Nordy. Let's go. Wow. Oh yeah, we also gotta get Oracle card for Cryptum as well, since Cryptum is subbed. Let's see what we got for you for your Oracle card. BRB, don't disappear while I'm gone. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Okay. Alright, now we officially got all the cards for you, Cryptum. And I forgot about Oracle. Yeah, I got you, I got you. We got your Oracle card now. Alrighty, so in order of left to right, Cryptum, for your general reading, we have the reverse Hangman, we have the World, we have the reverse King of Wands, and for your Oracle card, we have Butterfly. So we start with the reverse Hanged Man, right? The reverse Hangman is definitely a card of somebody who doesn't really want to face the truth of what's kind of going on inside their heart and like around them. You know, somebody who doesn't really want to face the facts with certain things. Maybe it's too difficult to face the truth of the matter. Whatever the case might be, this is sort of like a disillusionment in a sense. And sort of like retreating inside yourself. It's like, if I don't see it, then it can't hurt me. It's like, no, it's still there. It's still there. Even if you purposely avoid your gaze, if you avert your eyes, it's still gonna be there, regardless of if you're directly staring at it or not. So it's better to confront it now than it is to pretend like everything's totally fine, you know? But we do also have the World, and the World is kind of like a little bit of a reassurance. It's like, hey, you're on the right path. You are doing your best. This is a card of achievement. It's a card of success. This is a card of, you know, the path of liberation in a sense, right? This is change, union, reunion. This is the chance, I think, for you to really come to terms with things and push yourself forward, put yourself out of your bubble and onto the greater path that you've been looking to reach, you know? It's very much like you got to face the facts. When you do, that's how you find the direction you're actually supposed to head in, right? And then that kind of also leads us to the reverse King of Wands. And while the King of Wands is very much like a very fiery, very passionate card, somebody who has a lot that's important to them. And it's reverse, it's somebody who has a lot of walls up, somebody who's afraid to let their guard down. They don't want to get hurt, so they decide to sort of bottle themselves up, you know, away from the world. And in a sense, it feels like you're kind of fighting right now, because it's like you want to do a good job. You want to push yourself forward in the direction that you want to go in. But, I mean, obviously you're scared. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to make the wrong choice. You don't want to, you know, be betrayed by the people you love and care about. So you're like, so if I just hole up inside of myself and I don't leave, then nobody can hurt me. And it's like, I mean, technically, because you are not putting yourself out there at all and you're completely avoiding everybody else, nobody can hurt you. Yes, but also you can't grow that way, you know? You can't actually grow as a person that way unless you come out of your shell, unless you come out of your cocoon, unless you come out of your chrysalis, whatever this thing is. And that feels especially sort of amplified by your Oracle card, which is Butterfly, right? Which is transformation, it's joy, it's beauty, it's transience. But like I said, this is a card of quite literally coming out of your shell. You have to come out of your shell. You have to get out of there. Cards kind of nailed this one. You got to get out of there. You got to face the world. I know the world can look like a really scary place, but I promise it's not. I promise it's not that scary. There are lots of really wonderful, amazing things in this world, and it's a shame if you're completely shutting yourself away from them. You got to embrace it. Let your walls down so people can prove that they're not out to hurt you and they're not out to get you. You know? But yeah, I hope that helps, Crypto. Sometimes you just gotta force yourself to be brave and come out of your shell, and only then can you move forward. There you go. I'll give it a try. I believe in you. You got this. I said, it gets easier once you take those first few steps and people prove that they're not, like, you know, that humanity itself isn't just like some evil scourge on the world, you know. There's a lot of really wonderful, good people in this world. And you have to trust that most people are good people. Most people will do the right thing. Next up is the final call for Alex. Alex, are you here? But yeah, I hope that helps, Crypto. Fingers crossed. Alright, and then we've got final call for Twilight Princess. How many more do you have to go? Or was there a time period to ask for a reading? Well, we're currently caught up on the queue right now. But we do have slots open, so you can just redeem one. It's redeemed through channel points. If you go into you click the little sparkle on the bottom of their chat, you click tarot reading, you type in what you want, and then hit submit. Costs 5 channel points, and you get 300 for following, and you get more just by watching. Okay. Yeah, I think both of them are AFK. Are you looking to request one? I think Shorts is requesting one, so let's see what we got for you. There we go. Oh, looking for your life partner, huh? Okay. A love reading. So hi, newbies. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Let's see what we got for you, Shorts. How are you? I'm good. A little eepy, a little hungry, but I'm good, I'm good. I'm okay, I'm tired. Mood. Yeah, I'm gonna eat first, because all I've eaten today is a container of applesauce. So I do need real food. But after that, I'm about to head back to sleep after that. Stuffed but sleepy and got a skincare. Oh my god, I need a skincare too, dude. My skin is so dry. Ugh, dude, winter always makes my skin so insanely dry. I had to I gotta use a face mask. Oh, for sure, get knobs when you get. Yeah, I'll make something yummy. Yeah, I realized as I was like, oh, when is the last time I ate? I'm feeling a little nauseous. And it's like, oh yeah, all I've eaten today was the applesauce I had right before stream. That was it. No wonder I feel like shit, bro. It's all coming together. I've connected the dots. I've pieced this puzzle together. Do you still have time for another reading? Yeah, we can do it. We'll do Shorts reading, and then we'll do yours, New Beans. And then we'll probably call it there. We'll make yours the last one for the night. So let's see what we got for your love reading. Oh my god, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And then because shorts is also sub, you gotta grab your oracle card. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. We got all of the cards for you, shorts. So let's put them up on the screen. Then next up, we've got there we go. Alrighty. So in order of left to right shorts for your love reading, we've got the reverse 2 of coins, we have the sun, and we have the reverse 5 of swords. And then for your oracle card, we have mortar and pestle. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the 2 of coins. The 2 of coins is a card of balance. It's a card of harmony despite change. And it's also a card of news, right? But in its reverse, it's very much like a card of like mood swings, instability, right? The balance has been shifted, so now things are unbalanced, right? So there's this sense of like I said, like mood swings. It feels like things are kind of going one way and then immediately swinging the other way. It's a very precarious situation, I would say. It is precarious because it feels like you're kind of mentally or emotionally, maybe you're kind of like all over the place. Maybe you want to be in a relationship but you don't want to commit yet, or maybe you feel like you like somebody but you're not sure yet, or you're scared of rejection. And so it's like this sort of like back and forth sort of internally, mentally, whatever the case might be. But it does feel like there is very much like kind of a mental / emotional battle waging inside of you when it comes to love at the moment, you know? And then following that up with the sun card. The sun card is a card of warmth. It's a card of light. It is a card of optimism, right? It's not too late. It's not too late to show the warmth, the kindness, the love inside of you, and to bag a goth baddie. Am I right? Am I right? But I think that's sort of the key thing here, is this sort of like trust in warmth and love and kindness to help push you forward and to help heal you and to move you in the direction you want to go in, especially when it comes to love, you know? Let your heart sort of lead the way, be open, be vulnerable, and I think you'll find there's a lot of beautiful things you can find in just even the simple things in life when it comes to love. And that sort of ties in with this final card, which is the reverse 5 of swords, which is a card of a turning point. This is a chance to mend bridges before it's too late, right? Things are not over. It's not over. This is still well within possibilities. This is still well within range for you to fix things, right? It is not too late. It's not over for you. You're not chopped. There's still a chance. So nurture it tenderly, nurture it with love and care. And I think you'll see that things actually start to sprout when it comes to love, you know? I like that design for the sun card. Very pretty. Yeah, the big old sunflower. Yeah, I like it too. But yeah, so we have this sort of sense of let yourself be open, let yourself be vulnerable, and gently nurture the possibility for love. And I think it's very much well within the realm of possibility. And then that brings us to your final card. To quote the bisexual icon who is Billy Joe Armstrong, it's not over till you're underground. True, true. You'd be surprised. Love comes from any place, at any time, from anywhere, from anyone. You just gotta open up your heart. But yeah, that brings us to your oracle card, which is mortar and pestle. Which, if you don't know, that's the stuff they used to like, the bowl and stick that they used to grind things, right? Which is a card of integration, subtlety, but also thoroughness, taking the time. A mortar and pestle does not crush things instantly. It is a slow and steady process of carefully grinding things in order to get them to the consistency that you want. I can make English mustard with one. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a blender, right? It's not like a high-speed powered blender that's giving you instant results. It's a slow, steady, continuous, and thorough movement in order to get to your desired consistency, to your desired goal, right? So don't feel rushed. Don't feel pressured, right, when it comes to love. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. Romance is not a race. But, you know, take your time with it. There's no need to rush through things. Bit by bit, slowly, and I think you'll find that love is an enjoyable experience, and sharing that love with other people is even more so enjoyable, you know? But this is very much like your chance to patch up and to meet people where they're at, especially when it comes to things like love. Also, hi, Coffee. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Shorts. Yeah, the cards are very much like, take your time with it. There's no rush. It's not a race. And letting yourself be gentle and slow and thorough with things will lead you to the results you're actually looking for, the things you actually want, you know? So there you go. And then finally, we've got the last reading, which is for new beans. So what would you like for your reading, new beans? Yeah, like I said, I hope it helps, Shorts. So what's TMI for you in a reading? I mean, you can just give me like a general thing. Just give me like a rough explanation of things. You don't gotta go too much into detail for a lot of stuff. And then you can just give more details as I do the reading if you feel like it's necessary. Like, what do you not read about? Well, I don't do yes or no questions. But, I mean, people ask about, like, a variety of stuff. Some people ask about love. Some people ask about friendship. Some people ask about jobs. Some people ask, you know, what are my person's fantasies about me? I don't know if that's something I can really get an answer for, but I could try and see like what the other person thinks about you. I can just frame it like that and see what the cards say, what the other person thinks about you. Yeah. Yeah, but fantasies though, I mean, that's the sort of thing I think you just gotta ask them directly. I think you just gotta be like, so what are you picturing between me and you? What do you think about me doing every time? Yeah. I mean, that'd probably be easier just to go to them directly for that. Knight of Wands. Ooh, that'd be very passionate, actually, to get the Knight of Wands with that. Eight of Wands and the Devil. Yeah, Devil could be a good one, too. Let's see what we got for you, though, for your love reading of what this other person thinks about you. Eight of Swords, a juicy one. Ooh. Ooh. Talk about some serious penetration. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. Okay. Interesting that we got this one card again after we just got that. Interesting, interesting. Let's go ahead and put them up on the screen. Starting with... Boop. There we go. Now you see what card we just pulled. And then we follow it up with... And then the last card is... There we go. Alrighty, so in order of left to right, we have the reverse 5 of Swords, we have the 4 of Coins, and we have the reverse 9 of Cups, right? So starting with the reverse 5 of Swords, right? We mentioned this before with the previous reading. The reverse 5 of Swords is a card of, like, it's not too late. It's not too late to go for it. It's not too late to do things, you know? It's very much like a... There's still an opportunity. There's still a chance. And then following it up with the 4 of Coins. And the 4 of Coins is a card of, like, sweetness of the past, clinging to nostalgia, thinking back fondly on old memories, that sort of thing. But it can also be, like, maybe overly thinking about things of the past, things that have already happened, rather than looking forward to the future. So it's more like reminiscing than anything else. So it's sort of like the rose tinted glasses of, like, reminiscing on things of the past rather than sort of excitedly looking towards the future, in a sense, which is interesting. So it feels like this is sort of like a something that's not really current, I would say. Maybe they're just thinking about it, but they're not really in anything right now. They're just kind of, and they're not looking to pursue anything in the future necessarily. More just like, let's see how things were before sort of vibes. Some boring ass thought. Well, you know, some people like to just reminisce instead. But then that brings us to the final card, which is the reverse 9 of Cups. And the reverse 9 of Cups is very much like a card of, like, indulgence, maybe even overindulgence in a lot of things, to the point where maybe it's not super useful or helpful. So to me, this feels more like, obviously I can't peer into their mind and tell you exactly what they're thinking, right? But to me, this reads more like they're thinking about the past. They're reminiscing about things that have already happened, looking back fondly on what used to be, So I don't know if you're currently in a relationship with them or if you were in a relationship with them. But whatever the case is, it seems like their mind is definitely more focused on the past and like the what has already transpired rather than looking forward towards what could happen in the future. And I think in that sense, it might be difficult to push things further in order to move forward because they're so caught up in what's already done. They're already so caught up in their own head of what's already done that I think it would be difficult to push them further into looking forward, if that makes sense. But they definitely do seem to be indulging themselves with past memories, things that you know, maybe they're spicy memories, maybe they're things that have already happened, they're still thinking about it, you know. But whatever the case is, I think it's definitely something specific that's already happened that's weighing on their mind rather than necessarily fantasies of things to come, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that it enlightens you. Is this about me? No, this was for new beans. This was for new beans. Man, I used to show up in dreams of them. Yeah, I would say I think rather than thinking about what could happen in the future, they feel very much stuck in the past. They feel very much stuck in what has already happened. I know, but that sounds just like me. I mean, hey, if you relate to it, you relate to it. But I think that is a common thing. A lot of people don't necessarily think about the future when they're thinking about others. They think about past memories when they think about others. And I feel like this is very much the same here as well, in the sense of like reminiscing, thinking about the good old days, you know, the golden age, the good old times. Those are the kind of the moments that linger rather than necessarily thinking about what could happen later. They're more thinking about like, oh man, wasn't it so great when that happened? I wish I could go back to that, you know? And that's kind of like the vibes I get from that. But yeah. TBH, the Four of Pentacles could be like voyeuring too. Jealousy. Maybe. I mean, you know this person better than I do. But I would say, yeah, it does feel more like a reminiscing sort of thing, thinking about the past, thinking about the golden age in a sense, rather than excitedly looking forward towards the future. So, I mean, now's the chance to give them some breadcrumbs of things that they could look forward to in the future. If you do want to try to spice things up, you know? If you want to get things excited for them, then you could very much easily plant some seeds of ideas of what could potentially happen. Future you could do, you know, and get them excited and start properly fantasizing. But for now, it feels more like they're reminiscing rather than fantasizing. I've not been paying total attention, but this did seem like it could also be a sign when talking about fantasies. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think fantasies can be different for a lot of people. Some people, I would also say, if they don't have a super strong imagination, a lot of people tend to default on memories rather than fantasies if they don't have a super like active imagination, because not everybody does. Not everybody has a super vivid imagination. I do, but I am quite literally an artist, so it would be kind of silly if I didn't. But some people prefer to think of things that have already happened rather than things that could, because they have those actual tangible memories. So they have a stronger memory, but maybe they don't have as good of a imagination, which means fantasies aren't really something that they're really thinking about. So that is also something to keep in mind, is some people just genuinely are different when it comes to that kind of stuff. And it's not necessarily like you weren't good enough to fantasize about. It's more like, well, no, you were great. It's just they were thinking about what's already happened. They're caught up in the euphoria of the memories of what's already happened, you know? But yeah, I hope that helps. Fingers crossed. And we are officially all caught up. Yippee! So let's see who is online right meow. Oh, another fella is also doing some ASMR right now. So maybe not ASMR, they were doing tarot. So it looks like they're playing, what is this, Fortnite? I think that's Fortnite. They're playing Fortnite, but they're also in the tarot category. So, but I know that they also do tarot. So yeah, their gaming asked for a free tarot reading. Okay. So they are still doing tarot. Okay. We'll read them then. They're really chill. There we go. Alrighty. So Fortnite tarot. Yeah, they're doing Fortnite tarot, baby. Chug jug and chill, if you will. Alrighty, so tomorrow, I am playing more 9 Persons, 9 Doors, 9 Hours, which is a psychological horror, escape the room visual novel. If you guys want to hang out with me while we play it, I would love to have you here. It's a really, really fantastic story, and I'd love to share it with you guys. Yeah, Tomato Town Tarot. So yeah, hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow for 999, but if not, no worries. I'll see you when I see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And good night.